Well, obviously, it's a function of the personalities in many ways. In the early years of the foundation, Lloyd Axworthy was the president. He became president of the institution after Susan, and after Connie Rook left, and Susan was the president and chief executive of the foundation. It was interesting because they had a history. Lloyd was the senior political minister in Manitoba for many years in the federal government, and Susan was the mayor. And they I won't say butted heads, but they certainly had lots of interactions when they were in those positions, and it wasn't always, there was a lot of, these were two very independent, very determined, very capable people. So in the early years, that was a big part of the dynamic, was that was really, they together they were an awesome team, but there were moments when, you know, Lloyd would want to do one thing and Susan would want to do another. The fundamental difference between sort of the perspective of the university and the perspective of the foundation is there for the long term. The foundation has to take a long-term perspective on the needs and interests of the university. The university presidents are dealing with the then and now in many ways. I mean, obviously under Lloyd's leadership there was so much done in this university in terms of redeveloping it, and it was done in hand in glove with Susan and the foundation. But those were kind of the dynamics that existed. We always felt that the foundation was there for the principal purpose of supporting the university, helping students, wanting to make the place have a better sort of physical structure and physical capability for the students. We did not want to get involved in any way in the day-to-day ongoing operations. That was the role of the university, of its senate, and of its board. Although we did provide, I think, a different kind of sounding board for the president, because we were not involved day-to-day and didn't have any day-to-day responsibility in how the institution was organized. But we did have a long-term view on the importance of the institution. We're prepared to open doors, listen to the president's concerns, and that's how it evolved through the Axworthy years, and then through Annette Trimby. We've had this, I would say, very collegial, good word for university, very collegial relationship where we take a longer term view. Now, every now and then we'll have disagreements on issues like how to invest money, because there's, you know, every year there's a new kind of concern over a particular social issue, and that often translates into people sort of taking a short, sort of hearing what the situation was and becoming experts on investing, and we have to provide a kind of a sober point of view, a more thoughtful, measured, longer-term view on what's the appropriate thing to do. But we certainly recognize at the foundation from the very beginning that our job was to be supportive of the president and of the institution. We were not involved in the day-to-day operations in any way. We just wanted to be helpful. We want to be friends of the university and the community, because we all benefited from a liberal arts education, and even though many of us were in business, we'd all benefit from a liberal arts education, and we understood the importance of what this institution meant, not just to students like us, but to students from so many different communities that are really starting their journey in Canadian society, and this is an important stepping stone for many of them.
It's an interesting dynamic. Two separate bodies, and purposely done that way, which was very wise. We're not a department of the university, we're a separate entity. But the cultures, the politics, the dynamics, the power plays, everything is factored in that relationship. And it is extremely important for the foundation to be always assuring the university that the only reason the foundation exists is to serve the university and to help build the money contributions for its priorities. But that takes a path that has twists and turns, and it was almost as exciting as City Council. Not quite, but almost.
Well, the university has the vision. The university knows more than anyone what the need is, and they're the key players in helping with the case for support. At the same time, the foundation needs to be responsive, take the initiative, do the planning and execution of the campaigns and the appeals. The university is the public sector face. It's really important for the university to have that great relationship with government, while the foundation needs to have and build community connections and private funding. The university is the project manager. The foundation is the fundraiser and has management responsibility for being accountable to donors. But the key piece is this is a collaboration, and fundamentally the university and the foundation collaborate on the relationship with donors. The donor stewardship piece belongs to everyone.